If anyone happens to be in the mood for a dark, surreal, first-person, one-bit adventure game, CODA happens to be the exact experience you're looking for. So you are very much in luck. Hate to interrupt the ultimate act of T-posing to assert dominance here, but it is about time we peek through the looking glass. Yes, peek. With an A, even. It's a shame that the recording is not picking up my mouse. But we shall suffice without it. So we've appeared right near the code check of what we're going to learn is a museum. The petri dish of low expectations, one might say. The wake of lost dreams. Gonna ignore that. Carry on being question mark, question mark, question mark. In the year question mark, I found myself in question mark. This will help us find out a little more about our whereabouts. Got a map. Certain exhibits exist around the perimeter of the map. And a cafe right near this lobby that we're at. The map itself can be a bit misleading, though. Observe how when we exit here, there should be a hallway that goes past the cafe and continues quite a bit further. However, there's the cafe. There's the hallway. Dead end. That should be open, according to the map. So we're a little bit on our own, despite the map. Very happy worker at the cafe. Only will interact with us when we've engaged with every exhibit. Then we're permitted to enjoy coffee. So we have a goal. Most of that goal is simply to enjoy an experience. What more could you ask for? The artwork is, well, it's something. And if we were to interact with any of it, we enter a unique little world. This world happens to be E.T. for the Atari 2600. It's the landscape littered with holes you can just fall into. We're experiencing eternal falling, and then we just get booted out. These are not the exhibits. These are mere cul-de-sacs you can go down. You can get lost in any painting around here. It'll take you to a physical world, which you can wander around for a matter of seconds before getting booted out. And they are entirely optional. I'm going to skip most of them. Maybe I'll hit one or two more as I'm wandering around. This is from a developer called FinDevi. And I have never played anything by this particular developer, but I do have a love of one-bit games, like Pleonexia, and World of Horror, of course. I said you could interact with any artwork. We cannot interact with these. Ah, beautiful. Imagine hanging this in a museum. There would be so many complaints, considering how people typically react to the likes of Jackson Pollock. Just putting up a blank canvas would cause a riot, which is, in and of itself, art. But yeah, I had never heard of this developer before. They've done a handful of very small games that you can find over on their itch page. This one happens to be brand new. Just released on the 9th of this month. And this is a creepy dead end, which has taken us somewhere else entirely. This is an exhibit. We have become Sage Rogers in the year 1972. Location unknown. But a plane has gone down. We appear to be the lone survivor. Lucky us, walking totally uninjured away from a plane crash. Also, this game is heavily inspired by the likes of LSD Dream Simulator and Yume Nikki. Yume Nikki? I never played it. But I played some of this. I've seen a bit of Yume Nikki. It is certainly comparably surreal. This game is actually a little more focused and coherent than Yume Nikki. For example, text. I don't believe that old indie game had much, if any, text at all. We found an entire journal. One page says, "Every time I see her, my heart flutters. She is my muse for this machine." So we just scoop it up. Someone's private diary is ours now. Aha. And in the entirety of this diary, we read a very small excerpt. Except for this one, none of the pages have readable text. We take it nonetheless. I feel like I don't want to be up there yet. Although maybe I do. Exploration is the name of the game. We're here to wander. There are some destinations, but they simply do not matter. You get out of this whatever the hell you want. There may be some incontrovertible intended messages in some of these exhibits, though. Certainly going very atmospheric on the sound design. Definitely want to get up there. We gotta get our 8 pages. As I wander about this maze that I found myself in. All the places to crash land your plane had to be next to a maze. Okay, we're above the maze now. I'm gonna try not to fall back in. Thankfully, we've got a pretty solid leap. Get us around without ever. But it gets stuck between walls again. Ooh, close one. Holding on to this platform by a pinky. A pinky toe, that is. Various pages detail a mechanical brain being developed. Say no more, we all know how that goes. That's the tube that got us here. I have reason to believe. We've got a more solid grasp on this precarious platform than it seems. Which is good, because now it's platforming time. Very simple platforming. Even if you do fall, it's pretty quick to recover. Strange mathematical writings litter the pages. This is honestly the setup for like 100 different Lovecraft stories. Oh, Did not want to walk off of that particular edge, but it got me to a book I had skipped accidentally. Various diagrams are scattered across the page. The math is too complicated for you to understand. That explains why we are ignoring so much of the pages. Well, now I need to get my bearings back. I don't know where I have plummeted to. Thankfully, no fall damage. It's quite the fall there. Stairs were the right way, or at least the shortest path to the right way. It's right back where we were. Unfortunately, it does drop us back in the maze, and if we do take a wrong turn in the maze, we will not find the staircase that gets us on top of it, and we'll be stuck here forever. There are only like 3 paths, and the wrong paths are very short. Hey. This fall from grace was very fortuitous, it turns out. The only legible page reads, "I see smoke rising from the east. I know that my time to finish it is limited and they will destroy it." Can't say for sure that we came from the east, but our arrival did bring a great deal of smoke. Perhaps these journals are being written as we arrive and explore the area. Or perhaps this person's research has been threatened for quite a while now. Research into mechanical brains and whatever other mad scientists you want to imagine. This is a new spot. Haven't been here before. Look at the end of a tube. One page says, "I saw them coming. They pillaged and took everything. I hope they never find my masterwork." Is that us? Are we the pillager? Entering uninvited. There's a dead end. Always look down. Graphical style doesn't convey a lot of depth. It certainly has a disorienting feeling to it. In like a good, clearly intentional way. Don't see a lot of 1-bit games animated this smoothly. I guess Obra Dinn is the only one I can think of. Hey, someone else. Sort of. Floating above a campfire. So, they want to know who we are. I could be a crashed pilot, an adventurer, entering the temple looking for treasure, appreciating eyes for your art, or simply not sure who the hell I am. I know I'm Sage Rogers or whatever. Honestly, sounds like quite an adventurer's name. So I want that treasure. Stop right there. If you have any intentions of claiming this land, I will smite you with the power of 1,000 suns. Considering you haven't tried to kill me, I think you may be trustworthy. She turned on a dime. I have a big favor to ask, considering how long it has been between visitors. What exactly do you want? I'm not sure what plane or realm of what realm I exist in, but I've been here for what feels like centuries. The writings of my love are scattered across her masterwork, this machine that you have scaled. Please retrieve them for me. Her memory lingers in my mind like water on a floodplain ever since our society was struck down. I'll see what I can do. There should be 8 pages hidden throughout the forest. Eternal thanks. Thankfully, I think we have most of them. Let's see. I can actually check my inventory. I have 7. And a screwdriver. 7 and a switchblade. That's heaven. But I can see the 8th and final book. Screwdriver really has not come in handy. I didn't see the treasure that I sought. Uh-oh. Think that's where I want to be? As noted, a little hard to gauge depth, but let's give it a shot. There it is. 8th and final book. I keep running into issues with managing the water leaks. Thankfully, she has kept me grounded. So this entire thing is the machine that we've been reading about. Does not seem to be doing very much. Someone else tried to steal the plans for it, but instead they ended up scattered all over the place. Let's return them to the fire ghost, who loves the person who invented all this stuff. There you go. I've yearned for her, for these works, for her memory, for years. For your assistance in reuniting us, I will allow us to both ascend this realm. Let's ascend. So we haven't gone back to the museum, we've gone somewhere even weirder than where we just were. That's ascension for you, you never know what you're gonna get. Got a picture. Just a neutral expression person as a texture on the wall. Not very talkative today. Nothing much over there. Seems like the same person has been spread across the stairs. CODA. And the cafe. Nice ad for the cafe. We're closer than ever to getting into that cafe. For a much needed coffee break. It's got to scale some horizontal buildings. Floating in a black void. Over to another staircase with a trillion Japanese words written on it. Seemingly a repeating texture. Obviously, there was also Japanese writing all around our interface. I assume it's Japanese, but I am pretty ignorant to every language besides English, so that could really be any of a number of languages. You got a stack of beer cans, like someone has lived here for a long time. And had access to a lot of gigantic beer cans. One last staircase. And we meet this plane's sole inhabitant. A kid on his cell phone. We can stare at Finn. The metaphorical sausage is being made isn't pretty, and often the people snooping around aren't either. Keep on staring. I mean, it's okay. Probably got here by accident. Stare. I sure made my fair share of mistakes. I've been neglecting you, after all. Stare onward to victory. I'll try to be more open. Just keep looking around as usual, and I'll have more for you. And I think we're about to win this staring contest. I've just been going through something. Thank you for your patience. Yep, there we go. Now we get to nod in agreement. And that completed the exhibit. First of 4. Not a lot of uniformity to the upcoming exhibits, though, so. Not really a hint as to what to expect as we go further. A loose hint. Now, going into the exhibit and then teleporting back to the museum is extremely disorienting. This is clearly a safe. Not at all a Rorschach test. But we won't be robbing the museum today. Yeah, I'm pretty lost at this point. Seems like I made it out of the museum. To find this gentleman. Ascend to the Ouroboros, the epoch of recursive greed. Which, of course, I respond by saying, fall to the snake that stands before you. Clearly, we are doing some sort of CIA deal here. And indeed, it has teleported me to a new exhibit. I'm now in New York in the year 2028. Coming up real soon. My name is Robert Arn. Nice to meet you, older gentleman. Hello, Mr. Arn. You told my manager's boss that you needed to speak to me? Let's nod affirmatively. We won't put him on edge by saying, I'm afraid that we do indeed need to have a chat. I see. What's going on? I don't think it's due time for our yearly review, is it? We need to talk about profitability, Rich. Your numbers aren't looking as good as of recent. Either one we say, it's bad news for all involved. So the message is becoming more clear as opposed to the last exhibit. Robert Arn might not be an especially likable dude. Well, I guess I'm not being as fast as I used to be. Listen, we at this company, we care at this company. We are a family and want the best for you. Profit isn't our only motive, just the first and foremost. That's acceptable, and we do understand our employees begin to expire. We still see you as having value. It's good news. We're gonna make this guy's day with whatever our conversation is about. Nothing to worry about. What does this mean for me, though? What does it mean for my family? Did you not hear me? We care about you. You're being obstinate, old man. I'm trying to cut you a break here. I believe you, but am I getting fired? Your presence is no longer needed. You can volunteer your time here through our X-Corp Cares program if you wish. This is ridiculous. I mean, I've slaved away for years just to be fired at old age. Why, I'll have to work at X-Corp Mart until I die, for God's sake, if you let me go. Our obvious response, of course, is you would be more profitable in that position. We love all of our Dominions, regardless of their role in the company. Do you not understand? I will die working. I still haven't paid off my loans to this damn company. One of the key pillars of our company code is hard work, after all. What will my wife think? She'll have to go back to work too. Well, you should have worked harder. Maybe you wouldn't be in this position. Now please, leave my office. Well, that shut him up. Now listen here, listen closely before I have you escorted away and blacklisted from all X-Corp facilities. He turns bright red. Stop crying, you leech. Men like me would never do such a thing. Workers like you are simply feeding off of true pioneers like myself. We are pure creatures. We are pure. Creatures like you are mere ants beneath our feet. Now he begins a staring contest. Little does he know, we are the ultimate in staring contest technology. As for you, your wife, your entire class, you are all the same. Mindless drones of little worth to anyone. While men like me are brilliant, with no end and no one to control us. Flowers unceasingly in bloom. There we go. That got him to break eye contact. Now, get out of my sight. And he's out of here. Nice work, Robert. Let him down easy. That's what I always say. And with our work done for the day, we've increased profitability, making us a true hero. I am doing fantastically. That would be an appropriate response to the receptionist. Or we can merely smile with the intensity of 1,000 suns while nodding. That is exactly the threat we were about to be smitten with by the fire creature in the last exhibit. So wonderful. As I'm sure you know, positivity is the X-Corp way. You can find out what the market's looking like. You can say it felt good to make our family more efficient today. More swans thrown into the meat grinder. Or I can just say I'm going to be heading out to dinner at Timmerman's with Victoria. Redirect any calls from me for the time being. Let's find out what the market's like, though. X-Corp stock is now up 3%. Impressive, 3%. That's, 0.03, I think? As a percent is 100th. The S&Z 600 is down 2%. And premiums on blood are up 47% after the most recent increase in the city police budget. They have been known to cause quite a lot of bloodshed. So there's blood everywhere, blood for all. 47% more. Yes, how splendid. And before you leave, I was given this letter by some strange man who looked to be homeless. He instructed me not to open it and simply give it to you. Here it is. Why would we open such a letter? But we're going to. Robert Arn opens everything handed to him. He's having a good day. He's in a fantastic mood, so obviously he is ready to receive this letter, which is in bold black Helvetica text on glossy off-white paper, reading, Dear Mr. Arn, your presence is requested at 325 Rogers Avenue in the Industrial District immediately. If this letter is not complied to, it will result in the expiration of your position with X-Corp. Before arriving, please dispose of any electronic devices. This meeting must remain unmonitored. So, of course, I shall say, pay no mind to junk mail like this. I should be getting on my way. Yep, we ignore the homeless man's garbage letter. And just head on out. I forget, we were going to the restaurant with Victoria or something. Arn knows. He has important business to take care of, and he's not welcome in any room besides the one that he just fired that dude in. Ah. Elevator's here. Right quick, and it immediately takes us exactly where we want to go. That is an efficient elevator. That'll keep profitability high. It's like a journal over there, but I'm at an invisible wall. I legitimately cannot go any further. So it must not be important. Just casually climb up this dirt hill inside the basement of our office building. Off to our car. which is gonna have a real hard time getting the hell out of here. Ah, that's probably what the exit was. That was, blocked off by the invisible wall. Cars only, that exit. And we have a car now. We'll call it a classic car. Seems like a bit of efficient Russian engineering or something. Or maybe in 2028, all cars will look like that. 5 years today, maybe that's what our company produces. Locky-ass cars. We found ourselves in not the nicest part of the city. Lined with homeless people. Sir, if you have anything you don't need, may I have it? We shall simply look upon him in disgust. Not a charitable individual, Robert Arn. Yeah, it looks like our car was Russian manufactured. Off at the Kintib Onhi. It's always hilarious when someone like uses Cyrillic text to spell English words stylistically, and then someone who actually understands what those letters sound like pronounces it, and it's often gibberish. I mean, it's always gibberish. There's also Japanese writing here? Where the hell are we? If that's Chinese writing, maybe we're on the border between Russia and China that I'm sure exists. Prove me wrong, geology fans. I meant geography. Man moans in pain of both hunger and spirit. We walk away. Please just let me rest in peace, sir. He wants us to kill him. Well, if we stick around long enough, we probably will. This is clearly where we're meant to be. We follow the trail of homeless people to the one building we can enter. This restaurant sure has a lot of stairs. Get your workout before and after you've had your meal, I guess. Factory's pumping away, producing plenty of smoke. What have we here? Don't look at me, you little worm. No one talks to Robert Arn that way. I increased profitability today. That is a hard word to say so many times. That's how you earn the big bucks, is you can say the word profitability 100,000 times a day without ever stumbling upon it. Go talk to the boss, you weasel. We're a weasel worm. We would make a fantastic Pokemon. That's why we're in first person. We can't see a weasel worm. Our human minds couldn't comprehend it, so we have to see through the eyes of such a creature. Creature that will exist in 2028. Coming soon to a New York City near you. Now we talk to the smiley bald man. So, here comes in the big man, the alpha male, the titan of the industry. You really think you are those things, don't you? You think you're in charge of your underlings? To us, you're all sacks of meat. Why do you want me here? Did you just bring me here to say that? I mean, I expected some professionalism. I am in charge. What do you want about? You only are a couple steps up the ladder from me. Well, let's expect some professionalism. It's the least we can ask. Shut the fuck up and stop wasting my time. No one is in control unless you're at the top, you clown. I want you here because your usefulness to X-Corp has expired. Huh? Listen, you've been in my position before when dealing with the sheep. Now, did you follow the instructions on the note and get rid of your phone and wallet? No, I mean, that would be ridiculous for it. Go give them to one of the bums out there. You don't have a choice in the matter, Mr. Arn. So we brought our phone. This meeting is monitored. But whatever. We gotta head all the way back out. I mean, you were given one instruction, Aaron. And you blew it. So, who among these homeless people requested objects from us and would thus be willing to receive our phone and wallet? That would be the first one we spoke to. Hand him our wallet. Wait, what? You aren't trying to set me up, are you? This isn't some sort of joke? Consider it a handout. Lord knows you people get enough of them. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Off we go. So we made his day. Insulted him in the process. Still looking down on people there. Still haven't learned our place. There we go, right back where we left off. After a minor computer crash. Thankfully, this game does save after the completion of an exhibit, so I didn't have to do the first one over again. But we've ditched our wallet, we're ready to go. All is well, we're no longer being monitored. What did you want with us? Your cooperation is appreciated as much as your presence is lamented. You're welcome? I really do want to know. I really do want you to know this, Mr. Arn. Those bums out there, you're just like them. In what way? I mean, I spent my life in glass towers while they rot on dirty concrete. Even I could be like them. I'm just as good at playing the game. You, just like those people littering the pavement out there, are not. You are a leech. Now we're a leech, a worm, and a weasel. Honestly, kind of impressive. Oh, don't be sad. You are merely an actor in a play. You are to be the loser, the freak, the victim of a larger system, while I am the protagonist. Been there, big guy. And in this play, your role is finished. Your story already written. Your ending predetermined. Says you. Good comeback, Mr. Arn. You feel a wet rag cover your mouth. Fall into the darkness and ponder. Okay. So, those other guys in the room who refused to speak to us seem to be hired muscle that knocked us out and dragged us somewheres. Because I still am Robert Arn. And I still have business to attend to. Businessman that I am. Seems like we've been fired. I don't know what we're really going to accomplish here. But it's the same dude. Can I get behind him? Nah. He's become fully two-dimensional. He won't even turn to look at us anymore. You hear the ricochet of metal from behind you and a loud bang. Blackness and void fill your existence. Fall a bit further. Robert Arn is dead. Out of a job. By getting his brains blown out, presumably. Oh, well, I'm not gonna miss him. Bit questionable that the big boss had us leave evidence of our presence at what ultimately became our murder site. But after that bit of intensity, I think I need to go to an alien landscape and just explore a little bit. Oh, hello there. That's about the last thing I expected to see. So I was slightly taken aback. But ultimately, the neutral face, which is neither comedy nor tragedy, is utterly harmless to us. And we're out of there. Here's an old friend. Unrelated to our last exhibit. We are not permitted to interact with him for some reason. This time we cannot get that damn millennial off his phone. Maybe he'll enjoy some art while we are trying to find some more art of our own. That's something. I'm allowed to interact with the object in the center of this painting. In the year 2000, on an unknown glacier in Norway, we are now Logan Chesterfield. Did I actually physically collect something? No, I have no inventory whatsoever. Let's find out what we can do on this glacier. Is this my hand over on the right side of the screen? I don't know. I don't know if I'm like a Minecraft Steve over here. I don't know much of anything. But I'm about to learn something. The glacier has began melting at a rapid rate. I fear that our outpost is going to sink underwater in mere days. I'm going to stake out our trail to higher ground. I will leave radios behind. Call me at every one to ensure we're okay. Stay safe, my love. Will do. Got some computer terminals. Little bit outdated for the year 2000, I gotta say. I mean, they made it through Y2K. They're probably not gonna make it much further. If they stay on this glacier, maybe nothing will make it much further. If it ends up melting. So this stick on the ground is talking to us. I have found a cave. We will hide in there until help arrives. I wonder what you were chasing coming out here. And why I ever tagged along in the first place. Signing off. I guess there's a message tacked on here somewhere. Little hard to tell with the 1-bit graphics. And just a void before us. It's like being inside one of the paintings, but it doesn't seem to kick you out. Okay, that was an invisible wall. Bumped my head against. Really trying to, like, swing whatever this is over on the right side here. Another arbitrary pole in the ground. Classic bit of natural structure here in the Antarctic, maybe? It's Norway. I've already been told it's Norway. No need to guess. Starting to feel a pang of disgust as the cold sets in. I feel crazy for ever thinking you were good enough for me. Going on this expedition was merely a ploy to distract me. You just didn't want me to leave quicker. Signing off. Our relationship is falling apart very, very, very quickly. Whoever was writing to us seemed relatively optimistic for the duration of one correspondence, and now is pulling further and further away without us interacting with them at all. I have radioed for help. The second we get back to the mainland, you won't be hearing from me. Maybe you should stay out here, isolated forever. Lord knows you'll be alone that long when we get back. Not even signing off anymore. That's the most heartbreaking part. Oh well. We can do plenty of platforming here on this iceberg. But it's already ruined my marriage. What else has it got in store for me? Ominous music. Thankfully no ice physics, even though we are now clearly on ice. I gotta get whatever this thing is in my hand to wherever it's going. Possibly medicine. Or a small child in an obscure town somewhere here. Perhaps I am Balto. Climbing ever higher. That's probably a good sign. Completion of the first exhibit earned us an ascension, so maybe we're trying to ascend here as well. Although when Robert Arn ascended those steps to the top floor of that building, he did not fare so well afterwards. Maybe we'll meet the fire person again. Perhaps they are polyamorous and have love enough for two. Logan seems to have lost all he had. I'm relatively certain I didn't double back on myself because it looks like we're entering a cave of some sort. Little hard to tell. Whoa. Everything went black. And... okay. It's a year ago in Sacramento, USA. Bananas on the table. And an apple. All you need. Presumably there's more house over there, but this is gonna have to be a very long, thin house with no neighbors whatsoever. No, yeah, we can like see around the door. There is nothing over there. We live in a one-room, not even apartment. But we got our food and we got our wife. I swear, teaching students is getting old. I feel like I'm back in grade school. Graduate school, even. What are you up to? Nothing much. How is teaching an issue, though? I mean, don't you enjoy your comfortable office? How is teaching an issue, though? It's so sterile. When I come home, you act like I have it easy. I mean, when was the last time you had to stare at your computer for 8 hours straight? I'd rather sit in an air-conditioned office than be on site doing research. What you call interesting, I call backbreaking. So these two already hated each other. I'd rather have a broken back and see the sun than be locked away in a dungeon with golden handcuffs. Okay, I see. I mean, don't you have any empathy? God, I feel like you just try to survive every problem and don't actually fix it. Jesus Christ, just stop complaining. Don't you know you're in the top 1% of wealthiest humans ever? Stop bothering me. Why is our house 200 square feet if we're one of the wealthiest humans ever? We are fake frugal. We've caused her to weep, so we apologized. Listen, I know research we can do together that the department head wants me to do. It's next winter on a northern glacier. Will that fix this? Eh? Little marriage excursion on a melting glacier, after which we never see each other again? Sort of thing that has fixed many a marriage, I bet. Popping bottles, eh? Oh, popping bottles. Just a downward spiral. Remember, kids, never drink, not even once. You'll hit rock bottom immediately, and then you'll wander through a small hallway that gets increasingly smaller, and then you'll teleport out of there. ESA brought to you by CODA. Is this the door outside? It is. So this is the section that the map calls statues. And unlike most museums, we're allowed to climb on the statues. We got 4 giant orbs, a bench, some Twix bars, I'm gonna say. I guess they look more like Kit Kats, although clearly they're just I-beams. Maybe the statues are under construction. They just left the construction equipment out here. And a legitimate statue, with which I cannot interact. We'll never know who made it. And the cylinders. 3 cylinders on top of one another. Oh wait, they're not quite cylindrical. They're ovoid. I think I've seen enough of the statues, though. We have but one exhibit before we can get that sweet, sweet coffee. That looks like another type of drug. We learn not to do drugs, so this is clearly just tempting us. The paintings are taunting me. Oh, hello. Now this is interesting. Yeah, if we get too far away from the fire, walls appear behind us. The room with the fire in it is a different shape than the room outside where the fire is. Which, I mean, honestly, if a museum could do that, that would be pretty artistic. Gotta admit. Let's see what the fire has in store. It's the Gobi Desert of China. In the year 2122, I am Prospero. This is a crossover with Into the Breach. And we've made a neutral expression friend, clearly drawn in MS Paint. I feel alone in groups. The noise serves as a sea of doubts for me to drown in. Well then, you're not going to want to spend too much time with me. I'm getting you one step closer to a group. My whole life I've been walking downhill. I can't stomach looking up again. Well, you follow my every move at least. So we seem to have an endless slew of clones from straight out of a Hot Topic. I'm afraid of being lost at sea, but I keep smashing my compass. I crave isolation and fear it religiously. Yeah, that would make a good t-shirt. Honestly, I would buy one. I'm not all high and mighty here. This human support structure is rusted beyond repair, but you all will still treat me like a bridge. And get over it. Okay, so we're clearly not looping the same room with the same neutral expression emoji on it, so we found a hallway. Lucky me. Ah, you again. Will another night being laughed at by my peers make me feel loved and respected? Worth a shot. Take it from Prospero. What really screws me up is their little party hat is on the other side of their head from their portrait. That ain't right. What this implies is that there is also a face on the back of their head. We just can't see it, but if we were to somehow get to the other side of them, they would look exactly the same but flipped. Will another wage earned make life worth living? Good question. Money's not all it's cracked up to be, in that it's fake. Will another affirmation affirm your existence in my head? That was the question hallway. Prospero's not much for answers, though. Perhaps you will be. The only time I have alone is walking home to my apartment. Every time I'm alone, I cry. I don't like it. That's gotta be awkward. Oh god, this door. I hadn't even spotted how tall the door is. Prospero has quite the tall head. Suffers from severe coneheadism. There's no one in here. No one at all. Up. They've all gotten stuck to the ceiling. With familiar textures. We're so close to the consumer cafe. We gotta make it. Darkness. But we can see a sliver of light in the distance. Into a just gargantuan room that we cannot explore at all. We actually can get up here. I'm standing on the railing, but it won't let me jump while I'm on the railing, and I can't go any further. Can't get down there. Only that sad person who is a bridge. Stop by here. Let us walk all over them to get to new places. And see new faces. When I have my aiming reticle right about there, looks like the face is very surprised. But no. It is dead neutral at all times. Truth hurts, doesn't it? I crave absolution. And absolved I've been. Seems like that was all 4 of our exhibits. They got kind of progressively shorter, but we've done a full loop of the museum. Skipped a lot of the paintings along the way. Let's hit one more. At least one more. Got a black pyramid with many, many sides, so it's not a pyramid. And that's all it's got. A whole lot of these structures. Oh, I touched one of them and I went elsewhere. Curious. Can I go through here? I certainly cannot. And I'm out of there. The first time one of these little sub-areas has had a secret inside of it that I've discovered. Perhaps they all have secrets inside. So watch this magic trick. Wall. And it is a real wall. We can't go back that way. So if you do a full loop of the museum, up and around here, stopped by that. That was the third one, where the guy pissed off his wife that he didn't like. There's the statues. There's the one we just did. And then out through this wall that appears and disappears at will. I think we're ready for the cafe. Ah, here is my coffee. Which exhibit did you relate to the most? The first one with the temple, one that took place in the city, the one on the glacier, or the one in the desert? I mean, honestly, we had the love machine. We never got a real sense for what the machine does, but it's this giant machine made by someone who is beloved by a fire entity. The city is some capitalist who got shot in the head. Some guy losing his wife on the glacier. Or a very, very sad desert. You know, I'm gonna go with the temple. Must be a melancholic soul. I feel like you would have said that no matter which one I picked. These are all fairly melancholic stories. Okay. I really feel that buzz. Oh, my Dreamcast crashed. Please press E to re-enter the physical realm. You hear the console's drive screech as the fans ramp up. CODA freezes. You sense the chirping of birds in spring weather. You wonder how the fresh air would feel on your face. You have completed CODA. I sit here after watching you throughout the exhibit. I ponder your motives and why you saw fit to act as you did in each. Were you a mere actor playing a role or something more? Perhaps we are all just actors on this broken stage known as Earth. Regardless, we barrel forwards. We did learn that actors can play negative roles in the city chapter. That guy was called an actor, and he treated people very poorly, and then got murdered by other people who treat people very poorly. I accept this reality, though. Thank you for playing. Please remember this game when you too feel lost. Kindly leave. And the game closes. So I'm going to pop it back open real quick so I have something to talk over here. But that was CODA. An Experience by Finn Deavy. There we go. It was certainly an experience. Not meant to be measured qualitatively in any way, so I'm not going to try. It was fun enough. Had interesting things. I mean, I like the anti-capitalist stance. Always gonna appreciate those. Wasn't even like explicitly anti-capitalist. It just made you sort of think about how screwed up that whole system is. And I'll gladly take that. This only came to my attention because I was given a copy of it by the developers. So that's the first time that's ever happened. I didn't ask for it or anything. Just, I guess, my interest in 1-bit games got me on their radar and got me a copy of this game. And I've been more than happy to check it out. Perhaps I will look into more of Finn Deavy's work. There's a few more games up on the itch.io page. This one is, I believe, their first paid work. Like, this is the game that they're actually selling. And it's a thing. There are other games like this. And this is one of them. You can experience it, as I have. Perhaps it's an experience that will help you through certain events in your life, like boredom. It certainly isn't boring.